In 2012, in the heart of Dublin, Ireland, an accomplished composer named Declan sat at his desk, staring at his computer screen. The soft hum of his old piano, nestled in the corner of his study, was the only sound filling the quiet room. Declan had spent years chasing a melody, a fleeting piece of music he'd written in his youth, but had lost years ago. His fingers itched to play it once again, but it had slipped from his memory, as if the notes had vanished into thin air. One evening, while scrolling through eBay for obscure music scores, something caught his eye. A listing for an old handwritten music sheet titled Symphony No. 3, Incomplete Draft. The description was vague, but something about the title tugged at Declan's memory. Curiosity gnawed at him. He clicked. He had to have it. The price was reasonable. Far too reasonable for something that might be an undiscovered treasure. After a few tense moments, Declan clicked Buy Now, wondering whether this purchase would be just another random piece of sheet music lost in the flood of his collection. Days passed, and the envelope arrived. Declan tore it open with a sense of impatience mixed with skepticism. As he unfurled the old pages, his heart skipped a beat. The ink was faint, but the notation was unmistakable. His own handwriting. His breath caught in his throat as the melody he thought was lost forever began to form in his mind, note by note, just as it had sounded so many years ago. His hands trembled as he ran his fingers over the paper, reading the lines he'd composed long ago, a draft he'd abandoned in the chaos of life. It was a symphony, incomplete, and yet so deeply personal. How had this ended up on eBay? How had someone else come to possess what he had once thought was gone? It didn't take long to realize the truth. The score wasn't just some forgotten treasure. It was his. Somehow it had slipped away from him, passed through unknown hands, and found its way back to him, like a lost letter that had finally made its journey home. Declan's eyes welled with tears as he sat at the piano, the music flowing from his fingertips effortlessly, as if it had never been lost at all. The final movement, the one he'd never finished, began to form in his mind. This time, he would complete it. The lost music was finally found. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.